I got Parker Fox on with me today. Parker, how's it going?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there. The off season is going strong now. We're about to, at least for the high school, we're about to start being able to get into the gym next week, which is going to be fantastic. Though it's going to be very condensed and like non-live stuff, but we're excited to get into the gym. What about yourself? How's your workouts going on the off season right now?
Yeah, it's going good. It's different, that's for sure. Usually I'm up at school at this time, getting in the gym with coaches and our strength training stuff. But being back home here, gym's kind of starting to open up a little bit, as long as we're able to kind of follow some rules and follow some of that stuff. But I'm excited to join next week with you guys. Willie has me coming in and doing some stuff with the little guys and the younger guys at Maple Grove. So I'm excited to start that out. But it's been good. It's been good to get home and kind of get some family time in and just hang out and lay low a little bit.
For sure. So, for some of our viewers and listeners who don't know, Parker, give us a little background of your background with high school and then into college, and then we can talk about the Heat program a little bit after that.
Yeah, so I'm from Matamidi High School, graduated in 2017. And this will be my fourth year coming up at Northern State University, which is located in Aberdeen, South Dakota, Division II program there. Yeah, recruiting was a little different for me. Obviously, we'll talk about the Heat in a little bit, but I kind of was a late bloomer and didn't really get any varsity minutes till my junior year. But then I kind of broke onto the scene my junior year and started playing really well. And then some offers came in, and I picked Northern, and it's been probably the best decision I've ever made. I've made lots of friends, lots of really close people up there that have wanted just to see my success. And I was blessed to be Defensive Player of the Year last year in the conference, and then fortunately was named Tournament MVP in our conference tournament as we've won that the last 3 years. So Northern's been a really good spot for me, and have seen a lot of team success and a lot of individual success for myself as well.
Right on. So yeah, let's dive into a little bit of your background with the Heat. When did you first get started with us? And tell us a little bit about you weren't your size until probably your end of sophomore year into your junior year. So kind of dive into a little bit about your early years with the Heat.
Yeah, so I started out playing AAU, gosh, forever ago, and then Willie contacted me and asked me to play with Heat, and that would have been, what do you think, eighth grade year probably?
Yeah, I believe it was your
Like
eighth
that?
grade year. Yeah.
Yeah, eighth grade year sounds about right. And at that time, man, I was probably about 5'6", 5'7", just a little point guard, and Willie took me under his wing, and I got to play with some really good dudes and really good teammates. And then, yeah, like you said, it kind of started to get to my last year of AAU, so 17U, and I started to grow a little bit, and I kind of transitioned into being a 4 or a 5, and it was weird for me because I had all the guard skills, and I wanted to go out on the perimeter and shoot threes, and then it becomes that time where you can kind of start dunking, and every kid just wants to dunk, and that was me. I was definitely that kid. I was just trying to dunk at practice, dunk in games, but no, it was I could tell multiple stories about Heat and everything like that. But I have just forever family and forever blessings to Minnesota Heat because they helped me get to where I am.
Yeah. So you were coached by Willie and one of the Callistros, right? And no,
Yeah, I
and
had Vince
Connor Nord, right?
and Norman too. Yep, yep.
So
So those guys are great. Nord's been with me. Nord and Vince have both been with me since I started with Heat. And then Willie kind of joined in with the 17Us because he's, was always coaching the 17U guys. And Connor Nord and Vince, they've both been not only tremendous coaches, but tremendous people to have in my life. And we were just on Zoom the other day with all the guys, and it's cool that we can kind of still create that relationship. And, that's not really seen in a lot of programs, guys that kind of stay together. And we have a group chat, and we're snapping in our group chat every day. So, I mean, it's just a great group of guys, and led by those two for sure, C. Nord and Vince.
yeah, the two tremendous dudes, and Connor Nord, and he's a great coach and knows a lot of stuff, and I've learned a lot with him just kind of just watching him and everything. So you kind of got lucky there.
I did.
Let's talk about recruitment. So talk about how your recruitment happened and why you chose D2 over D3 or anything like that, and what your mindset was with recruitment.
Yeah. So, like I said, recruitment was really slow my sophomore year. I was actually having a lot of success in track, high jumping, and I had received some interest. And I was like, hey, maybe I'll try to pursue that. But then I kind of hit that growth spurt my junior year, and I realized that basketball is what I wanted to do. It's my favorite thing to do, and I just love playing it. So I realized kind of my junior year that I wanted to play basketball, and I started out with some NAIA offers, some D3 interests, coaches calling me. And then I had a really good summer with the Heat, and I had some D1 interests and some D2 interests, and then yeah, I went on my first official visit to Northern, and they offered me when I went on my visit. And honestly, I kind of knew right when I stepped foot on campus and when I kind of got with the guys and the coaching staff that it was the right spot for me. So my thing I would say to some of the younger kids is, take your visits, take every single phone call, take every email, every letter, like be true to that, and like try to develop really good relationships with coaches, because right when you step foot on campus, you kind of know that if it's a spot you want to be or if it's not a spot you want to be. And I was fortunate enough to have awesome parents that take me to different places and different universities to check out the campuses. And right when I stepped campus on Northern and got with the coaches, I kind of knew that was the spot where I wanted to be. So yeah, that's what I would say, is make sure you take your visits. It's very important.
Right on. Yeah, I definitely echo that same thing. When our high school kids ask, a lot like, where do you think I end up, or things like that. I'm just like, go on as many visits as possible. Football, basketball, whatever sport they're offering you, or their interest is, just go take the visit and see what it's like, because you never know. You might step on a campus and be not even know like this might be a spot for you, and then all of a sudden it's just like something happens and you're like, man, this is a good spot for me. So
Yeah.
so let's transition here a little bit. Let's talk about just this past year for you, with school and basketball, and how it was, and how kind of it got cut short,
Yeah.
which kind of is a bummer. You guys were on a pretty big roll and everything was kind of heading your way, and all of a sudden it got cut short. Let's chat about that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So our coach last year, he left and he went up to UND, Coach Paul Sather. So we were kind of scrambling. All the guys were nervous. Hey, who's going to be our new coach? We didn't find out till like June who our coach was going to be. Coach Saul Phillips and his assistant Jared Swanson came in, and they're just first class guys. If any of you have met them, they're just delights to be around, and they're great guys. But we went into our first weekend thinking we were going to do all right, and we went down to Oklahoma, and we got slapped by 20 or 30 in the first two games, and we were like, what's going on? What is this team? We got to figure some things out. And then we head over to Black Hill State the next 2 weekends and got 2 wins, and that's when we kind of realized that we were a pretty good team and that we got some really good pieces. We just kind of needed to figure out how to put them together. Conference, win games. Eventually, the last weekend of conference, we won this outright, and then we got the number 1 seed in the conference tournament, and won our first couple games. Got to the conference championship, beat Mankato in the conference championship, and we were feeling really good. We were feeling like we were kind of ready to play our best basketball. And then we got the 4 seed in the big tournament, the regional tournament. And we were kind of upset by that. We thought we should have been a 2 or a 3 seed, but we were ready to go down to Missouri and play. We had Missouri State on our schedule, so we were ready to go down there, or Southern Missouri, and we were ready to go down there and play them. And we drove actually 8.5 hours down to Maryville, Missouri, where the tournament was located at. Right, we got there, we had lunch, and right when we were finishing up lunch, Coach kind of stood up and was like, "Hey guys, we're gonna be cut, and we're headed back up to school." So, man, it was heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking for our seniors, and for some of the guys that that were gonna be done. Well, one of our teammates wasn't a senior, but it's last year. So just to see those guys go through some of that stuff was really tough. But it is. I guess it is what it is, and you got to kind of try to take the high road on it. But it was really a tough time for our team, and especially for our seniors.
Yeah, definitely. Us here in the state, we didn't get our state tournament, which is
Yeah,
always a bummer. We always want those teams to play each other, and we didn't get it this year. And I know it was a bummer for a couple of the kids that I coached with your brother,
yeah,
Dador and Jacob Say. They were on me and your dad's team when we coached together, and they were
mm-hmm.
they were in the section finals. And that day they got the call that said they can't do it. Like they were like 2 hours before the game,
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
heartbreaking for those guys. So
yeah.
it's
It really
tough.
is.
So with this quarantine, what have you been up to?
Man, so right when quarantine hit, we were kind of just, on our way back from Missouri. Um, I got back to Aberdeen, which is where Northern's located, and they basically, coach said, "Hey, you guys are free to go home because there's obviously no classes. You can stick around if you want to." So I actually packed up some stuff, just like a duffel bag full of stuff, and headed home, not really knowing like how big of a deal this was going to be. So I got home for about a week, and a week passed, and they basically at that point they shut down school for the rest of the year. So I was like, oh, I need to go back up to school and get some of my stuff, and get ready for summer, I guess. So I went back up to school, got all my stuff, and now I've been back home. I was just kind of chilling for the first month as it was, kind of rolling into summer, and nothing was open at all. But now we're seeing some gyms around the cities are kind of starting to loosen up a little bit and become open. My weight room up at Royalty Sports Performance has been open. So yeah, we kind of getting back to the grind. As a college athlete, you put 8 months into it during the season. You start up practices 2 weeks after school starts. So I took kind of that first month just to relax my body. I had put 1,000 minutes on my body during the season. I was playing almost 35 minutes a game.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's definitely a burden on your body with all the practices and lifts and all the mental side that a lot of high school kids they don't understand yet, and especially younger kids that if you want to transition into college sports, no matter what level you're at, it's a full commitment. And I took that first month kind of just to relax my body, get my body back. You play conference basketball and you have little aches and pains that you didn't even know was there, bruises here and there. So yeah, I was fortunate. I got that kind of month to relax, but now I'm revved up, ready to get back into it.
yeah. Talk about your where you train at. It's Royalty, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
How's that going? How's the training there?
Really good. Yeah, I would definitely suggest any Metro kids, especially over on the east side of town. You're talking about like I think the gym's located in Centerville up in Hugo. So any kids that are kind of located on that side, reach out to either me, Carson Fossum is his name, follow us, that sort of deal. But that's where I train. It's a great facility. Carson Fossum's the head there. All sports, especially when we're getting transitioned into high school. I've built a relationship with Carson, and I've been there for almost 5 years now. And as my body has grown, he's done a really good job of transforming my body, getting me bigger, faster, and stronger. So yeah, I'm fortunate. I get and working.
Yeah, they got a couple Centennial connections for myself up there. I know like Sam Bird and Luke Chul.
Yep.
Luke Chul, he just signed
Yep.
with Northern.
Yes.
He's going
Yes, my boy
there.
Luke.
Man,
Yes,
that's
yes, it's
awesome.
fun. It's crazy to see because I played football growing up as a kid, and I played against the Birdman, Big Sam Bird, and Luke, and we're excited to have Luke up at Northern next year. I know we got a new football coach in that's trying to do some big things, and Luke's a heck of a player, so we're excited to have him around.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. He's been working so hard to try to get to the next level, and I'm happy for that kid. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a part of it too that people don't realize on how hard it really is to get to that next level,
Cause
and if you want it.
he's been at two JUCOs, I think two
Yep.
JUCOs, and
Yeah, yeah.
just grinding every day.
It's a grind, man. It's a grind. That's for sure.
So, as we kind of wrap up a little bit here, why don't you is there any stories that come to mind as far as like the heat goes, as far as like traveling or anything that comes to mind that stands out to you?
Oh man, I could go on and on telling Heat stories about my 17U season. We went everywhere. We went to Chicago, Vegas, Pittsburgh, um, Indianapolis. All over. I can't even remember. But honestly, one of my favorite stories is it was with Vince and Connor Nord. I wasn't even there. I think we were in Omaha, and Connor Nord and Vince were driving. I think Vince's mom's car. It was a new car, and they didn't know that they had to put like diesel in it. I think it was a diesel car, and they didn't know they had to put diesel in it. So Vince filled it up and with just some unleaded gas. And he calls us and he's like, "Hey, we're 8 miles down the road on the side of the road because we got a full tank of gas." I'm like, "Car won't go," and it was because they didn't have diesel in the car. And that's a story that's kind of always stuck by me, and just the way those guys handle it and the way they can tell the story is just a testament to them. Just great guys.
Oh man, that sounds exactly to them as an NXT, man. That's
For
awesome.
sure. For sure. For
So
sure. Yeah.
so you're working out now. What's next year gonna look like for you?
Yeah. Next year's will be exciting. We lost three seniors on our squad. Three really great guys. Really good basketball players. But we bring in, I think, 6 or 7 freshmen that are ready to step up and transition to that role. For any of you that are any guys out there listening, going to be a freshman, my biggest thing for that is just listen. You think you know a lot as a basketball player. You think you know what to do on the court, but honestly, so far away that you don't even. There's so much to learn about college basketball, and it's a completely different world. And I think if you're a freshman that's able to listen and learn, you're going to be really successful. But we're excited. We got a lot of our scoring back. We got 4 of our starters back, and we're really looking forward to having a really good year. I know with the season getting kind of cut short, I don't know all the rules on that, but I'm hearing we're only going to have 22 games, which will be our full conference schedule. So you got to be ready to go right away. You got to be ready to play because every conference game matters towards the end of the conference schedule. So when we get up to campus, we got to get in gear, we got to get serious, and we got to really get going and ready to play and ready to win.
For sure. Has your role changed at all? I know you redshirted your freshman year, but since your last 2 years, has your role changed on the team a lot?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, redshirting my freshman year, I was behind, 2 of the best centers in all of Division II basketball. 2 centers that played in a national championship game. So I came in as I was only about 180 pounds, and those 2, Logan Doyle and Carter Evans, they beat on me every single day at practice. So I would spend extra time, drinking my protein shakes, getting in the weight room, trying to get bigger. But once that role came, I was able to come into my freshman year, and I played 19 minutes a game, something right about there, 20 minutes a game. I averaged 10 points. I've always kind of had that scoring mentality, so I know kind of points would follow that. But then as my sophomore season came, I became a starter, became a guy that was kind of playing 35 minutes a game, and my team really kind of looked at me to score. Put the ball in the hoop. We run our offense. We run a very motion-based offense, and we just have guards we have 3 guards: Mason Stark, Tommy Chapman, and Andrew Coleman, that can all really play really good basketball. They can pass, they can shoot, they can finish. So our ball screen stuff is dangerous, and I was able to transition this year into 20 points, 10 boards, 4 blocks a game type of stuff. Just kind of trying to stuff the stat sheet, do everything I can because we got enough scorers on the court. We got enough basketball players that I was able just to kind of increase some other roles, some rebounding roles, some defensive roles. But that's what it's all about. You gotta be able to find what you can do best and bring that to a team.
Yeah, I noticed watching some of your stuff, obviously your highlights that I watched this year, but your ability to block the basketball this year has gone up tremendously. And like just your defense overall, I remember watching you in high school. A lot of high school kids don't want to play hard-nosed defense, but your defense has improved, and that's something college coaches look for all the time is what are you going to bring to the defensive table? We all know everybody can score the basketball, but what's going to set you apart defensively to put you on the court. So
Yeah. I think it's an interesting thing because a lot of players in high school, they got kids that are just starting to dunk, just like I was. You want to dunk or you want to shoot threes, but you're gonna have college coaches coming to games and AAU tournament. They want to see what you can do in the defensive end. If you can guard somebody, if you can be in help side, if you know basic principles. I was always a guy that kind of understood basic principles, but I didn't really want to sit down and guard for 40 minutes. I wanted to score. But once you get into college, you realize that if you're out there on the court, if you slip up, you're going to be on film. If you don't do something right, you're gonna be sat on the bench. So it kind of became a role where it's something I really like to do because a good block shot and a good solid rebound, so that kind of stuff can get seen, but a lot of it doesn't get seen. But it gets seen by your coach in film the next day, and it's the kind of stuff that gets you playing time, and it's the kind of stuff that gets you on the court.
Right on. So last thing I'll ask you, we'll end this. We're down about 20 minutes here. So, any sort of TV shows, anything you've been watching that you want to recommend to anybody out there that?
That's a good one. Man, I've just been grinding Netflix, honestly. With all the shows, Outer Banks, and all that kind of stuff. But I finished the Jordan documentary too. But I've been running back and watching old 30 for 30s, that sort of deal. Some people like that stuff, some people don't. I'm a sports guy in general. I'm a sports marketing major, so all sports have always kind of just been appealing to me. So I've been running back and watching that. I was oh gosh, what was the other one I was watching the other day? Oh gosh, now I'm gonna forget it. It was a good one. But I mean, any 30 for 30s, they do a great job with their kind of stuff. But other than that, that's about it. Man, I'm just busy, man.
I know.
I'm busy.
I saw you were just working out before this or something like that. I saw something on Instagram or Snapchat. Yeah. So just working hard, man.
That's right. Yeah, it's fun when this quarantine stuff's kind of wrapping up and getting to an end. For stuff like going to get food somewhere, that basic stuff that we've kind of been missing, and then getting into weight rooms, and it's crazy how your schedule starts to fill up, and you get kids that want to come and train. You get I'm hitting Willie up, hey, can I work some camps and that sort of deal. But no, it's exciting, and I'm really excited for next week when this camps start to open up and get back with the Heat guys, because
sure.
just like every single guy in Minnesota Heat, there's no bad apples. We got a bunch of really good dudes part of the program, so I'm excited to get back around them and get back to those friendships.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me. Say hi to your family for me. I haven't seen him in a while. Say hi to your brother. Congratulations on him graduating.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. All right, Gally, I appreciate you, man.
No problem. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, we'll see you.
I'll see you.